Hey, what's up guys, my name is AzN3AlK0, and this will be a Exploring the Arsenal series with me, AzN3AlK0, aka TouhouSniper98 Extra. I believe it's going to be a 5th extra after the AN94 Tact OP. This review was requested by, I believe, I Hit Boom. Either that or it was something with someone else. I Hit Boom is one of my subscribers if you don't know him. He's a cool guy, and yeah. So, once again, this will be a subscriber requested gun review on the T-2. I have gotten many requests to do the T-2 because I had mentioned that the FAMAE SAF, which I did a gun review earlier on, is very similar to the T-2. So, people have been asking me, hey AzN3AlK0 or Asian, what should I do about the FAMAE SAF? Should I get it or not? Because I already have the T2 perm. Well, assuming they do have the T2 perm. I already have my T2 perm, and statistically, you said that they were pretty much identical, except for like 1 point difference between like in their accuracy and their recoil. So should I get the FAMAE SAF or not? So after that, I decided that maybe it's appropriate to indeed do the T2 review, and here it is, guys. So let's move right along into the stats. As I said in my as I mentioned in my FAMAE SAF video, the stats on the FAMAE SAF and the T2 are almost exactly similar, except for their accuracy and their recoil. So damage, portability, rate of fire are all the same at 36, 88 and 90 respectively. That especially the portability and the recoil, those are just retardedly good. Those stats right there are probably what make them the most overpowered guns, or the most overpowered submachine guns at the moment, other than close competition by the P90 TRSE. So moving on to its what is that? The accuracy. The accuracy on the T2 is bumped down 1 from the FAMAE SAF, from 77 down to 76. Because it's an SMG, accuracy doesn't really mean all that much, but if you are planning to go long range fighting with the T2, which I don't really recommend you do because there are a lot more better guns for that job, it may make a difference, though I never really tried it because I'm not an idiot and I don't want to die so many more times. So I played to the gun's strengths, and you should too. Though in this video, you will notice that I do have an iTech on the scope. Recently, I did try putting an iTech on my FAMAE SAF, or I did that long ago, on my T2. As you get a nice 2-piece nade right there. And surprisingly, it works pretty well. The recoil scoped in with the iTech jumps up or goes pure vertical for like the first, like, I want to say like 6 or 7 shots, and then it teeters from side to side, but it is nowhere near the FAMAE SAF's scoped in recoil, which goes like straight high up, very high, and then bounces around all over the place. The T2 is very controlled compared to that, so I was pleasantly surprised by that. I thought the T2 would have a similar recoil pattern scoped in, but man, was I surprised. Right there, I don't know how I didn't get any damage from that mine right there, but probably lag or something. Lucky, I guess. And moving on to its recoil, the recoil is 64, but after playing with the FAMAE SAF and the T2 in the same game, or in same games, like I bring them both inside the same game, I feel like this is kind of inaccurate, because the T2, the recoil kickback and the spread on the T2 is a lot less than the FAMAE SAF, which doesn't really make sense because the FAMAE SAF has a 63 recoil instead of 64, which his T2 has. So I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if it's a Nexon fail, or there's something about the T2 that indeed it does technically have more recoil. It's just that, I don't know, I'm not picking it up or something. Like, I'm not seeing what it is. But man, the T2, the recoil on the T2 is a lot better on the T2 than the FAMAE SAF. But there is a drawback to that, because the FAMAE SAF does feel like it kills a lot faster. Also, the muzzle noise on the FAMAE SAF is a lot stronger, in my opinion. So, I mean, it sounds a lot better, basically. So, I mean, the T2 is indeed a very good gun. It's just the muzzle noise is very low velocity, or low frequency, as I fail right there jumping off the ledge. And not that loud, because people can hear you. It's pretty loud, but then you can hear the FAMAE SAF from a longer distance away. So moving on to the Recoil Controlability, with its huge rate of fire, it's extremely difficult to control the recoil, but it's significantly easier to control the recoil compared to the FAMAE SAF. It doesn't bounce around as much, the spread doesn't get as large as quickly. Those are just my opinions on it, so I don't know if it's true, I don't know if it's just me, but I mean, you guys can figure it out by yourselves by watching the videos and seeing for yourselves if my words are true or not. So moving on to its Tapfire Ability. In this respect though, the FAMAE SAF would win over the T2 because the T2 does not have a Tapfire ability to speak of, or at least in my opinion. If you try to Tapfire with the T2, then it'll rarely will you get rarely will you ever be able to shoot like one bullet at a time. You'll probably end up shooting like 2, 3, maybe 4 bullets like per click if you're not careful. The FAMAE SAF has a better time or has a better chance of tap firing 1 bullet at a time as opposed to the T2. So there's a little grain of salt for you guys. Moving on to the reload speed, it's got an extremely fast, or not extremely fast, but it is very fast. The FAMAE SAF still has a faster reload time than the T2, but then the T2's reload animation is a lot smoother. All you need to do is, as you guys probably saw already in the video, is pop out the magazine and pop one back in. It's pretty simple. The FAMAE SAF is faster, but the animation seems kind of clunky and hurried. Like you pull out the magazine, put one back in, and then cock the bolt back, and all in under like a second and a half or something. So I feel like it's kind of hurried, and I don't really like the animation that much, even though the reload speed is very fast, and I love the reload speed. The T2 is a lot smoother, so I like the T2's reload animation a lot better. As for luck, with its insane 90 rate of fire, damn, I still can't get over that. You'll be very lucky with this T2. I myself just tend to go for body shots because I think lottos are kind of cheap. But I mean, if you guys really want to go for those headshots, then the T2 is perfect for you guys. It's a freaking lotto machine if you guys know how to aim it right. Of course, it's a submachine gun, so it should, anyways. Moving on to its ammo capacity. Its ammo capacity is at a standard 30 rounds per magazine and 90 in reserve. Its key physical characteristics include an integrated foregrip, which it's just there for cosmetic purposes. It doesn't really have a use at all. But it does look like a M4 variant. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but it does kind of have that kind of M4 design with the stock and all. The barrel looks like that of the CQBR, the M4A1 CQBR in Combat Arms. But that's just me, so I could just be like an anal gun freak right now, so. As for before I forget, one of the more important physical key characteristics of the T2 is that it is very small. Unlike what you might think, the T2 is actually smaller than you think. You can actually hide very well around corners with the T2, so just something to keep in mind for you guys. Moving on to its muzzle noise. As I said, the muzzle noise on the T2 is a very low frequency, but it's very loud. So it kind of balances out. It balances each other out. Though I feel like the FAMAE SAF's muzzle noise is a lot more intimidating because it goes like brrr, while the T2 goes like brrr, like that. If you guys, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So moving on to its attachment options, you can attach any attachment on it, unlike the FAMAE SAF where you can't attach any magazine modifications, which blows dick. But then on the T2, you can slap an extended mag on it, a silencer, a scope on it, whatever you prefer. So, is it Fireteam worthy? I've actually gone into a Fireteam game on Extreme to see how well my submachine guns could work. For that game, I had brought the T2, the FAMAE SAF, the P90TR SE, and the Scorpion's PP19 mod. And honestly, the T2 really isn't that great, even though it does have a extremely fast rate of fire. The FAMAE SAF too, because they have identical damage, but it did a little bit better in taking out zombies faster. Among them, just like a side note of trivia though, the the Scorpion's PP19 mod really seemed to be doing the most damage, though the P90TRC was pretty close. Anyways, I really wouldn't recommend bringing this along with you to Fireteam because it's not like you're gonna need that speed anyway. Even with like tanker vest and then like a machine gun, you can still outrun those damn slow zombies. Moving on to whether or not it's quarantine worthy. Yes, this is definitely quarantine worthy. With a total of 120 bullets and the fact that it fires at 90 rounds per minute and has an 88 portability, which is faster than all your default knives and most pistols. I think all pistols too. It's very useful. You'll find yourself easily outrunning those zombies, at least for a short time anyway. So yeah. Also, if you need to spray at a zombie, it'll push them back real quick. It's just a matter of how you can conserve your ammo to last like 3 minutes or something. So that's for you guys to figure out. As for my frank personal opinions, the T-2 is easily one of the most overpowered submachine guns in the game right now. Tied with the FAMAE SAF, and either tied or close behind the P90TR SE. Yeah, this is a must-have for you guys who are avid submachine gun fans and really love spraying all the bullets you got in hell towards your enemies. So yeah, those are quite frankly all the personal opinions that I need to say about the T2. It's freaking good. So for my final rating, the close quarters combat, I'm gonna have to give this a 95, same as for my SAF. Middle range is gonna go down significantly to about I want to say a 60, because you can lotto people, but then I haven't really gotten that many lotto with the T2, surprisingly enough. In fact, I feel like I get more lottos per game with it for my SCF than I do with the T2, which is kind of surprising. But anyways. And finally, at long range, it's gonna go down to like, I want to say 30, because god damn, it does not have a Tapfire ability. If you want to put a scope on that thing and use a scope to like snipe people or like take out people at distances beyond close range, you just might as well stick to your middle range engagements. Long range, don't even think about it. It's not gonna work unless you get like a lucky scope and headshot or something like that, but I doubt that'll happen. So that gives us a final rating of 61 and 2/3 percent. Once again, guys, this is not an accurate measurement of what the gun is, what the gun's true value is worth. All it's saying is that if you were to take the T2, I don't even know how I got shot right there. If you were to take the T2 and just use it as your only gun throughout your entire combat arms career, that's how many gunfights you would win on average. So yeah, there you go. Make sure to, in order to, utilize the 95% that I give it at close range, make sure, obviously, stick your engagements to long range, because that's where you'll do it most, or that's the most damage that you'll be able to inflict. So, hope you guys enjoyed this T2 review. I believe I'll post this as either a video response or like a link to an annotation in my for my SAF video, because they are statistically very similar, and people do want to know why they're similar, or how they're similar, and in what ways they're similar. Or did I just repeat that 3 times? I don't know. So anyways, guys, I really don't have much more to say about the T2 other than the fact that it's extremely beastly at close quarters, just like the FAMAE SAF. Though the FAMAE SAF does outclass it in close quarters combat, but it does still have its very good areas of its own. So don't underestimate them. Make sure to use them. And yes, hopefully for those of you who are wondering whether or not you should get the FAMAE SAF, because the FAMAE SAF at the time of this recording is up for permanent sale until the 22nd of December. So hopefully this will answer any of your questions. And yeah, have a nice day, guys. Peace.
Round start. Round start.